Hi there, it's Judy Graybill, International Relationship Coach. Healing hearts, one relationship at a time, specializing in stepfamilies, co-parenting with an ex-spouse, and adult children of divorce. So today is January 6, 2020, and it's my first day of working full-time this year, as well as for a few years. I took a few years off. I started my business 10 plus years ago, and I took a few years off for family reasons. And so first day is my first day back in a couple years. And I've been sitting with the question of what is my intention for my clients this year? How can I help you, all of you? And I asked myself, my intention is to help more people and at a deeper level. And I was asking myself how to do that. And I pulled some tarot cards to help me. And yes, if you know me personally, or if you've listened to my other videos, I don't talk about that side of me all that much, because I don't do readings. I just do it for myself. I've just been learning the tarot for the last few years for myself, and I pulled some tarot cards, and I pulled a card for every month of 2020, and to tell me what the themes were going to be for each month of the year. And I was really surprised that the majority of my cards were in reverse. I want to say like 8 cards. I don't know the count off the top of my head, but it was close to like 8. It was like more than the majority. And I've just recently started reading in reverse. It's rare that I read in reverse. So I was like, maybe I just didn't shuffle these right, So that was a week ago, and today I did it again. I shuffled, I counted how many were upright and how many were in reverse in the whole deck. And it was about split, 50-50. And then I shuffled real good, and I did the spread again, one main theme for the entire year and one individual card for every month. And again, I got 6 reverse cards. So what that tells me is that there's going to be a lot of challenges that people are going through this year. And as a coach, I want to help you through the challenges. So how do I do that? And this sounds like is actually kind of maybe even a departure from what most how most people start out the new year, because you want to start out very positive. This is going to be the best year ever. And I'm starting out the year saying, hey, look, there's going to be challenges. And if you follow astrology, you'll get that. And I won't go into the details because I've only been following astrology for a few months. So I did another reading, and that just said that I just pulled like 5 cards to give me an overview of the theme of the topics that I should be talking about very, very specifically. So I wanted to bring it down to the individual level and the individual couples, and how I'm going to be helping individual couples. And the themes that came up is basically realistic expectations, how to find real love, healthy communication, doing shadow work, how to cut through the chaos how to create clarity from chaos and give actionable steps. I'm looking at my notes, I'm sorry. There's a lot of people who are very unrealistic in their relationships. They have unrealistic expectations. And this accounts for both men and women. And one of the things that I'm going to be doing this year is really talking about how you can optimize your time. And actually, if you go back to my other, what I do anyway, through my other videos, I'm not doing anything different than what I've actually already been doing. My main skill set is teaching people how to be a team, how to work together, how to get everybody's needs met, and everybody's needs met while still being true to who you are in your core. It's about asking for what you need, and then also listening very carefully to what it is your partner needs. And you actually, it's a back and forth and some mutual support. So I'm going to be talking more about this year. One of the things that came up very strongly is the unrest in relationships, people leaving relationships, people wanting to leave relationships, people not sure if they should leave relationships. And this is also something that I've talked about. I have a formula, I call it a weight to change. A weight is my formula, AWAIT, awareness, willingness, action plan, implementation, and tracking. And I'm going to be talking more about this, helping people figure out when to cut their losses and when to stick it out. There is such a thing as staying in an unhealthy relationship too long. And there's also such a thing as cutting and leaving without giving your current relationship the due diligence and the due consideration and commitment that it should get. Like, people don't know what they should be doing in the relationship. They don't know what they're doing wrong. You don't know what you don't know. So people are doing the wrong thing on a regular basis and don't know it. And then other people in a relationship don't know how to communicate their needs and don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to process all their emotions that they're feeling. A lot of times it comes out as anger and punishment to the other person for what they did wrong, and criticism. And although that's warranted because you're mad because they did something, on the same token, it's not necessarily productive just to keep criticizing and harping on what was done wrong. So one of the things that I'm going to do another separate video just talking about this. This video is just to give you like an overview of everything that I'm going to be talking about over the years, so you know what to expect from me. But really helping people navigate how to have those healthy conversations. My partner did something that hurt me very deeply, and do I throw away the relationship now because of this deep scar? Or do I forgive? We're told to forgive, but what does that look like? What does that mean? You know, like, you can't forgive when you are in that state of anger. So how do you navigate through that forgiveness? And how do you navigate through that anger? I mean, like, especially when that anger is justified, like, for example, cheating, lying. There are couples who want to stay together and forgive in spite of a cheating scenario or a lying and other things. And but both people need to do the work. And if you're in a relationship where you feel like you're doing all the work, you have to ask yourself, are you staying for the right reasons? Are you? Why are you staying? Do you know why you're staying? Like this is where your personal power comes in, is knowing why you stay. It's a choice to stay. And even if you have the healthiest relationship ever, the people in those healthy relationships will tell you, and the ones that are very happy, not just healthy, but happy and thriving, they'll tell you it's a choice. It's still a choice. It doesn't matter if you are in a healthy relationship or an unhealthy relationship. If you know what you're doing or you don't know what you're doing. If your partner is working on the relationship or your partner is not working on the relationship. It doesn't matter if you're male or female or somewhere in between or all, you know what I mean? I lost my train of thought. I'm so sorry. But you have to know it's a choice. That's it. It's a choice. You are choosing to stay. You are choosing to not stay. You are choosing to cheat. You're choosing to lie, or you're choosing to tell the truth. You're choosing to be in integrity. You're choosing to own up to what you did. You're choosing to defend what you did. You're choosing to punish your partner. You're choosing to criticize your partner, or you're choosing to take the higher road. You're choosing self-healing. You're choosing, how do I get past this? How do I understand why my partner did this? These are all questions that help you find your personal power and help you sift through what's going on in your relationship in order to have a better relationship. And these are all things that I'm going to be talking more in depth about in 2020. Very, very specifically about power differentials. That came up very clearly. Power differential is a term that I coined to explain a step family dynamic, because the step parent usually is the one that feels powerless. And I'm seeing this power differential in a lot of other relationships. I see it a lot with codependency relationships, for example, and there's certain personality types that are more prone to give their power away. Empaths, for example, tend to do it a lot. So I'm going to be talking about that. And because empaths in particular are very sensitive, and we typically kind of understand the other person's perspective, but in doing that, we tend to undermine our own needs at times. So there's a lot of people who are not asking for what they need. A lot of people don't know how to do that. A lot of people are in fear about doing that. So that's going to be another thing that comes up. And also, it was just on the tip of my tongue. Oh, shadow work, of course. You know, it's like, I mean, there is no relationship coach that doesn't talk about, or business coach or personal coach that does not, well, mostly personal coaches and relationship coaches, they all talk about doing shadow work, the work, healing your wounded inner child. So it's all the same thing. And the only way to really help your relationship is to really get back in touch with yourself on who you are in your core. And that means really understanding where your wounds are, because the reason you get triggered, the reason you get upset, and they all are from inner wounds you already have. And so there's a lot to say on that, but so healing the wounded inner child is going to come up. So I want to see if there's anything else that I missed. That's basically it. Except for one thing, I do want to say that it's about giving the benefit of the doubt. This is something that I learned from my mom. It's something that meant a lot to her. And may she rest in peace. She just passed away in November. We need, there are times where we really need to give people the benefit of the doubt. I think we always need to give people the benefit of the doubt. But we also have to be realistic about, and I did mention that realistic expectations were going to be a theme, but right now I'm kind of combining two things, because giving people the benefit of the doubt is, and being realistic they go hand in hand. It's about really believing that your significant other, partner, husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, wants to do good by you. They are choosing to be in this relationship with you just as you are choosing to be in this relationship with them. They're choosing to stay for a reason. It could be for the wrong reasons. That is true. That's realistic. But giving the benefit of the doubt means that off the cuff, you assume that they're in it for the right reasons. And I will talk about this too, when people's words do not meet their actions. And it's really, when you look at that difference, the words, they're saying all these wonderful things and their actions are saying something else. It's like, how do you navigate that, and what do you do about that, and what does that mean? And that's how you, where you have to be realistic with what your expectations for the relationship are, and realistic with regard to what your boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, significant other is going to do. Are they going to do what they say they're going to do? And but we have to trust initially. We have to start out trusting them and believing in the good intentions. And again, if you go back to my other videos, this is something I talk about a lot. If you don't think that your partner has good intentions, why are you with them? Why are you choosing to stay? Why are they choosing to stay with you if they don't have good intentions? See what I mean? That's the benefit of the doubt. If you start with that premise, my partner has a good intention, and then you put it into another context on this thing that they did wrong that disturbed you. I'm just going to let you sit with that for a while. And I'm going to be doing other videos about this. So, all right. I hope that these themes resonate with you, and that you return to get more information on all these things. I'm really just starting out with my YouTube channel, and I'm just starting out with my intentions for you. So again, my intention is to help more people at a deeper level. So I'm going to be thinking throughout the year on how I could do that more. And I hope you give me a chance, and so I can show you how I can help you. All right, because you're here for a reason. You chose to be here even to the end. So I appreciate that. And namaste, and thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.